Okay, we're gonna recite one small prayer. If you can say after me, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 Hare Krishna, everybody. Today I would like to welcome you this evening at 26nd Avenue, which is called the Matchless Gift. And today we are reading from Bhagavad Gita, chapter 6, entitled Dhyana Yoga, and verse number 19. So, okay, I think everybody has their copy, yeah? Yeah, I'm pretty much sure.
They have a hard copy, or
Okay.
they know how to find it on their phone, or they're using their phone for other purposes.
Hopefully not.
Hopefully not, yeah. At least for the time being, until we are reading Bhagavad Gita. Okay. Yatha Deepo Nivatastho
Yata Deepo Nivatasto
Nena Gate Sapoma Smrita
Ningate Sopamasmrita
Yogino Yata Chitasya
Yogino Yata Chitasya
Yunjato Yogam Atmanaha.
Yunjato Yogamatmana.
It's linked to the previous one. So after reading this, we will link the previous one also, so we can hold the thread. Okay, translation, you can say after me. As a lamp in the windless place
As a lamp in a windless place
does not waver,
does not waver,
so the transcendentalist,
so the transcendentalist,
whose mind is controlled,
his mind is controlled,
remains always
remains always
steady in his meditation
steady in his meditation
on the transcendental self.
on the transcendental self.
Purport, a very short for 3 lines. A truly Krishna conscious person, always absorbed in transcendence, in constant undisturbed meditation on his worshipable Lord, is as steady as a lamp in a windless place. So what's happening here, Lord Krishna, he is speaking to Arjuna about the situation of a practitioner, how he is fixed in his meditation and how we should be fixed. So let's read text 18. When the yogi, by practice of yoga, disciplines his mental activities and becomes situated in transcendence, devoid of all material distract, he is said to be well established in yoga. So that was the real translation. But today's verse is an analogy of text number 18. Because what he said in text number 18, it is the analogy is given in text number 19. So the example is here, like we are sitting in this room and there is no chance of air blowing or passing through. We don't have window open, we don't have door open or any other air condition is there. If we lit the lamp here, just say a candle, and without the air you can see how the flame is so steady. Have you ever seen it? Have you ever tried it? I tried it in my childhood. You know how it is? I turn the lamp on, like it's made of clay. I just put some oil in there and some ghee wicks in there, and I was seeing it was just waving around everywhere. So I closed everything and I just went very close, very near to see. But due to my nostril air, it was just flickering. So I said, oh man. So I just put the paper and just front of my nose, between the lamp and my nose, and I just want to see how does it look like. It's stable like that, stable like that. And now after so many years, Lord is speaking. I mean, when I read this Bhagavad Gita, then I understood, oh, that's what it means. So what does the air means here? Why Lord is asking what's the air refers here? Because the mind is referred to a lamp. So what does the air refers to? Our thought, our desires, our material desires. Because a practitioner, how he or she should be in his or her practice, he has to be practiced because it doesn't happen overnight. Okay, because you are dealing with the mind, and mind is very subtle. First of all, dealing with something gross itself is a big circus, a big challenge. What to speak about which is something is subtle, whether you can't see, you can't understand, you don't know what the properties, how the mind looks like and what it does. But what it does, we know in our life, it's like hodgepodge, everything. Okay, so Lord is saying it is very, very difficult to control, but it is very easy to control also. How? By suitable practice. Because nothing happens in this life without anything by a suitable or constant practice. Consistency has to be there. Especially if I see the ladies here, they like to cook. Mostly, I mean, that's their nature, cooking. Okay, when they learn,
That's our nature.
yeah, I mean, cooking is a ladies' department, you know, they're just very famous in cooking, like especially in the Vedic scripture. But if you see in a Western world, all men are cook and chef in the hotels. Okay, but usually, it's of course everybody must learn. But why I'm saying when they start learning cooking, okay, sometimes salt more, sometimes no salt, sometimes chili more, sometimes no chili. But is that the way we learn? In the beginning, yes. But is that the way a person expect to be eaten, that food or cooked? No. A consistency has to be there in a proper minute, a proper what do you call a measurement. Not more salt, not less salt, not more chili, not overcooked, not less cooked. So everything comes by practice. When anybody start learning cooking every day by practice, slowly, because they get the feedback either by their parents, by eating themselves. Oh, what a hellish thing I cooked, you know. So they realize why did they cook? Because now every facilities are there. Okay, in television, cooking shows are there, recipes are there, books are there. So they think, oh, they say it's have to be cooked in 15 minutes, but I left for 22 minutes, so 6 minutes more, so it's overcooked. So there's so many things we learn. So in a similar way, when we become a spiritual practitioner, start controlling our mind, in the beginning it seems very easy because we don't know we have to control the mind. Okay, when we start practicing, especially while chanting Hare Krishna, we see as soon as we have been told, okay, we have to speak and we have to hear. That's the only simple process. We think it's quite easy. But when you start practicing, my God, our 5-6 rounds finishes, we can't even know whether we have heard any single mantra or not. That's the job of the mind. But Lord is saying by constant practice, every day, daily practice. Another example, learning this harmonium or a piano or a flute, any musical instrument. If anybody touches, you know, with either with their lips or either with their hand to play any music instrument, how horrible it is. Boom, 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 boom. It's just annoying to the eyes, you know, or to the ears, and for everything just agitate. You know, Prabhu, please, can you go and practice somewhere else? You know, it just really I can't tolerate, I can't handle it. But the same person, after 1 year, when he learns and when he plays very beautifully, melodiously, then you think, wow, it sounds very good. That we can ask him, Prabhu, can you play in the kirtan? Then it becomes more. But how he was a year ago? No. In a similar way, the mind, when we are dealing with it, it's very, very flickering. It's very, very stubborn. Okay? Whatever you do, it takes you to the opposite side. Some people, they may ask question, how do we know whether it's our mind or it's our intelligence? Because intelligence also of two types, material intelligence and spiritual intelligence. So Prabhu, how do we know that sometime whether it's my mind dictating to me or my intelligence dictating me to do? Well, the simple answer is, if whoever is dictating you, if it's taking you closer to Krishna, then it's good. Then you can say it's your spiritual intelligence speaking to you. If anything taking you away from Krishna, that's your mind. Simple analogy. That's why Lord says in Bhagavad Gita in chapter 6 here, we have to make our mind friend. If you make the mind friend, then he can take you back to Godhead. But if you make him enemy, or actually he is the enemy, he's acting like an enemy. So how do we make a friend? To train your mind to listen to Lord's instruction in any of the holy scriptures, either Bible, either Quran, either Bhagavad Gita, but it has to be authorized, not any mental speculation, and under someone's expert guidance. No matter if you want to become a doctor, there's so many books are available in the market, in the bookshop, or in the library you can go. Now facilities are there, YouTube. Any problem, you just go and look it up. Medicines are there, everything's are there. But do you think you can become a doctor by like that?
No.
No, not at all. But have you ever noticed when you are sick, so any single person coming to see you, he or she is a doctor? Yeah, they give so many advices. Why don't you try this? Why don't you try that? Okay, relax. Okay, I will do. But the better intelligence is to let me go and approach the expert doctor, the person who has studied for so many years, the person who has practiced under someone's guidance, who has been authorized, who has taken up an authorized book and read, given an exam, studied so hard. We can take advice from that, even though others are okay. Still, I was just an hour ago, I was in some other program, so I was just telling them one analogy, trying to make them understand in one thing, that even though we know all the subject matters in our school, yeah, whether it's English, mathematics, or what are we have, sociology, small things, whatever we have, even though knowing all those subjects, still what we do, we send our children to the school to learn. Why is that so? Even
Because there are teachers.
definitely, because they are expert teachers are there, environment is there, proper guidance are there, and you can be surrounded by so many same type of people, so where you can grow. So that's why institution, classes, expert teachers has to be there to guide us proper. See, kids when they come home and they get some homework from the teacher to come, and parents, they do help them, okay, because they can't do it themselves. Whatever they have learned, because they are just baby, they just forget it. Okay, they have heard, but due to their lack of experience or a knowledge in their subject matter, they cannot finish their homework. So parents has to come up and help them out. So in a similar way, when we start practicing or take up the process of Krishna consciousness, we need the guidance of the people, those who were already practicing before us. Otherwise there is no hope for us. I'm pretty much sure it is not the first time you are reading this chapter. You might have read or understood this chapter earlier also. So Lord, so many options he gives, okay, for Arjuna. Arjuna, what do you think? Because Dwapar Yuga is going to finish and Kali Yuga is about to start. Do you think you can practice this? And you know how much or how qualified or educated Arjuna was? He was not even educated in a gross science, he was educated in a subtle science. Okay, he was expert in the Vedic scripture, he was expert in a military art, he was expert as a politician, he was expert as a king, he was expert in everything. He has no anything shortcoming in him, along with his brothers. But still he surrendered to the Lord, because he is not dealing with the gross, he is dealing with the subtle thing, which is the mind. He confronted to Krishna, Krishna, I am able to move or change the direction of the wind. If the wind is coming from the north to south, I can change it from south to north. Do we have that ability? No. First of all, can we just hold? First of all, see, that much qualified he was that he can change the direction of the wind. Okay, he said, I cannot control the mind, and this process is not possible for me to follow because I am not capable to do it. Tell me something which is practical for me, or for day and age, or for the Kali Yuga, the people going to come in the future. And what we do, we just buy Amazon some kind of a yoga pants and yoga t-shirts, and we put on and we says we are the yogis. that's our qualification external. Externally we show off. Okay, what we are doing, we are going for yoga. It's not a yoga, it's just a gymnastic, something we are doing to burn out our extra fat or to come into the shape. That's the only thing we are doing. Yoga has a very, very deeper meaning. If we look at the ancient book Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam, yoga means connection to the God. Anything, even though Ashtanga Yoga, where asanas are there, pranayamas are there, by performing those asanas and pranayama, they have one purpose. How? To control the mind, not to increase our sense gratification. Really? By sitting at one place? Have you ever done this? Like Hatha Yoga, like Chakra, Kundalini? Have you done it? Have you seen people doing it? You know how they say there are 7 chakras. You need to hold your heel underneath it and block the air and try to uplift it. But what is the purpose behind it?
To control your sense.
To control your senses, especially the mind. Because when you block all the holes, and then you can straight away control your mind. But we see, as soon as we just start getting out of the storefront or our house or our office, we can see, even though we are walking on the street, but there are hundreds of thoughts are spinning around in our head. What we have to do, we have to go there, we have to go there, let me catch this train, F train, M train, which train, and we end up into something else. Or many times it happened to me that I just come out of the room, I says, I came out, but what was I going to do? Where I was going? And I forgot that, that is a condition of the mind. And I claim myself, I'm just a practitioner for 14, 15 years. No, it's not possible. It's not completely not possible. By seeing the future, Arjuna perfectly put on the questions, many other questions for our benefit. He has no objection. He had no problem at all, because he was 24 hours living with Krishna. In his childhood and his all the age, even the young age, he was just sleeping, eating, playing around, learning archery and other military things. Everything he was doing with Arjuna. He was so close. So how come he just put on everything suddenly the day when the war is going to start? How did he put on? No, it was the divine arrangement of the Supreme Lord, because he was using Arjuna as an instrument to instruct the upcoming generation or upcoming conditioned soul, how they can be benefited. Otherwise, he was seeing Krishna face to face. He had no problem. He never had a doubt. In chapter 10, he said that you are Param Brahma and Param Dhama. And after saying, then he said, it's not I am saying. He put forward the authority of Devla, Vyasa, many other great sages. He says, it's not me alone saying. All the other biggest authority has said this. Brahmaji, Vyasadevji, everybody is saying. And I have realized it. So realization has to be there. And it only comes by a suitable, constant and determined practice. Now the question comes, how much determined we are. If any activity, any task, if you do, even though it is materially, that requires determination. That requires a strong determination. You can see the materialistic people who are really keen into earning money, how much they are determined to achieve their goal. How much they are determined. They have sacrificed their life, their relationship, their health, their everything, just to become number one in a certain area, either maybe a number one in a business, or maybe number one in richness, anything, you just name it. They're so determined. Have you seen it? If you read out Srimad Bhagavatam, if you see all the demons, okay, Hiranyakashipu, Hiranyaksha, and many other, how determined they were to achieve their goal. I want the supreme power. And he did so many years of tapasya. He pleased with Brahma. If that much determination, if we get now, we can definitely get Krishna. See, the materialistic people, you go outside. How many hours they are working? I just came through from Jackson Heights to here on an F train, and I was seeing it was full packed. People were just there nose to nose, just right there. And so frustrated, they don't even know whether the person is a male or a female, just hanging around. But they are so determined that they have to go to work. They have to take care of their family. They have to pay off their bills. But we have given all the facilities in the temple, or Srila Prabhupada has given everything to get out of this material world. So we have to be that much determined. Of course, we were doing it. You can see yourself prior coming to Krishna consciousness, how determined we were to pursue in our material goals. I'm pretty much sure we are not here, anybody is not here illiterate. They have done some kind of a, degree, a very qualified degree, graduate, postgraduate. How much hard work have you done? So much. Sleepless nights, so many assignments, to get what? To get a good marks. So if that sleepless nights, if we can perform while performing our Krishna consciousness, see how much benefited we will be. Just in a one shot means just in a one life, we can go back to Godhead and finish off our business in this material world. So that's why we need to hang around with those devotees, those who are so determined, so strong. Because determination doesn't come, that so easily. In Srimad Bhagavatam it says, if you don't have that quality, any kind of a quality, but there is a science. If someone wants to become sincere, someone wants to become determined, someone wants to become loyal, someone wants to become faithful, just find somebody, a devotee find who has this quality and serve that devotee, and you will get that quality in you. This is a practical science. Sayan Mahat Seveya Vipra Punya Tirtha Nisevanat. It said, Sayan means the person who has freed from all the material desires. If you serve them with your love and devotion, if you serve them, then you will also have the same quality. Your material desire will also go away. It will also go away. I'm pretty much sure all of us want to be. We all are hankering. I wish my hankering, my material desire should diminish. I should increase my spiritual desire more and more. So find somebody who is or he or she, just become friend with them, just serve them. Not just asking them, how can I serve you? That is also a good way to serve, but just see what are they in the need, in which way they are helping. If they are conducting any program, let me go and help them, assist them anyway. Okay, let me go and distribute. Srila Prabhupada, even I was just reading, or actually listening to one lecture of Visheshika Prabhu. Yeah, Visheshika Prabhu said one beautiful point. How many of you know Shad Goswami Ashtam? I think pretty much sure everybody knows here. Yeah, have you know that? Nana Krishna Kirtan Ganan Tan Paro, that bhajan.
We don't know.
You don't know?
We know, but they don't
I think most.
This group mostly doesn't know.
Oh, you don't know.
But if they know, then we know.
There may be a couple of exceptions.
Because you are the teacher. If you know them, they all automatically know it. Okay, there is a very beautiful prayer there for the Shad Goswami. They are the Goswamis. Our teachers are there, very powerful, who just wrote most of the philosophy book. Srila Prabhupada says, if you recite this prayer every day, then their quality will come into you. And who are these? The 6 Goswami: Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami, Raghunath Das Goswami, Jiva Goswami, Gopal Bhatt Goswami, Jiva Goswami. They all 6 Goswami. If you recite this one prayer every day, while taking shower, while brushing your teeth, or cooking anything, Krishna Kirtan Gana Tan Paro, this whole 8 prayers are there, then their qualities will manifest in you. And I'm pretty much sure everybody all wants to be like Goswamis, to control our senses. Because why? Because they were Dhira Adhira Jana Priyo. Dhira means ki they were very dear to the saintly people, okay, like good people, and they were also dear to the bad people. Who has this quality in today's world? Do we have this? Either we are just good to the good people and bad to the bad people, but they were favorite to the both. Who can be like that? If good people loves you, they love you because they have a good heart. But there are some thieves, ruffians, dacoits. They love them. I mean, there's something. I mean, some quality is there. At least if I get a half, not even half of 1%, even 0.5% of their quality, I will be successful in this life. So that's why we need to find somebody, especially in this way, because when we hang around with the great practitioners, those who are practicing for 50 to 60 years or maybe more than that, so we can see when we hang around with them, their spiritual aura, it affects us also. And we also, at least for some time being, we also don't think about anything material. We think, I wish I could stay with Maharaj for so many days. I wish he can take me with him, just to travel wherever he is going. But is it possible? No, because most of us are householders here. We need to take care of the families and things. But what we can do, we can learn for that particular period of time, even for half an hour or 1 hour or so. Just take guidance of Maharaj, how did you do that? They will also say, I was not like that. I put myself in everyday practice. Everyday practice. Prabhupada gives an example of a fire and an iron rod. Okay, fire is a fire. It has a property of heat, light, burning. This type of the properties are there. And just iron rod is what? Just an iron rod. What kind of a property iron rod has? It's hard to say. I don't think so any property it has. But if the same iron rod has been put into the fire for some hours or some days, and when you take out the rod automatically takes the properties of the fire. If you touch, it burns your hand. You can see it's a red color. The light is there. Okay, heat is there, at least for some time. So it takes the property. So when we put ourselves into the bhakti, into the spiritual process, or associating with those who are doing it with their pure heartly, then we can take the properties then, and we can also act like them. Can I take the question after the class?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Add something to it.
Yeah, please go for it.
No, like they say, like they remind me of what you're saying. There's this saying like iron sharpens iron, and steel sharpens steel. So if
Shields,
you hang
yeah.
around people who like steel, you're gonna become like a steel, and if like you're around people like iron, you're gonna become like iron.
Yeah.
Regular people, or
Yeah.
people like association with like great masters,
Yeah.
gonna become like them.
That's right. So whatever profession we are in, we can see mostly we are hanging around with the same profession people. Like if they are doctor, they just like to be hang around with the doctor because that's how they talk. Cardiologists, dentists, gynecologists, if you see anybody, they just like to talk the same thing. So in similar ways, spiritualistic, those who are doing some kind of spiritually, devotees, they like to hang around with devotees because they don't like to hear any other mundane talks. I'm pretty much sure I can see some familiar faces here for so many years or so many days they are coming here. When we started coming, if somebody talks to us something, politics or what's gonna happen with Russia, Ukraine and this and that, how much pleasure do we derive from that talk? It doesn't make any sense to us. Okay, alright, okay. And we just try to finish off the conversation as soon as possible. But if somebody started speaking from Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam, so we can say we just like to sit for hour and hour, because the taste we can see. So that means we are losing our lower taste and we are grabbing or progressing towards higher taste. So something by nature as a human or by nature as a living entity, something, our nature is to grab something, just to hold on. Just to hold on to something. So why not hold on to the good things? Make sense or not?
Yeah.
That's why Prabhupada has given. Prabhupada never say you don't do what you are doing, because Bhagavad Gita, Lord himself saying, Arjuna, I'm not asking you to give up your whole family life or your profession or anything. You utilize everything in my service. Yuddhaschaiva mam anusmaran. While performing your fight, your duty as a warrior, you think about me. That's what we have to do. That's the only simple way we can progress and we can charge up our life with the spiritual things, because as we will grow, there are so many people are coming in the world, so we can teach them through our example, because one generation comes, another generation goes. So that's how we just pass on the message. Because when Srila Prabhupada left, that period was such a crucial period for everybody. ISKCON was almost struggling to get up, because and those Swamijis, those who were GBCs and in charge, they were just like 5 years old, 10 years old, maximum 12 years old. How old are you, Prabhu, in your practice here? 35 years? 30 years? Almost?
34.
35. I am 14. Somebody is 1, somebody maybe 5, 10, 15, 20 years like that. But those time devotees were only 10, 11, 5 years old. And see how much burden they have got on their head when Srila Prabhupada left. A whole responsibility of pushing this movement was fall on their shoulder. So many things happen, but by the mercy of Prabhupada, by the blessings of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they raised up. Now if anybody leaves, or they leave their body in our movement, it doesn't affect the movement, because the way they have trained up, one generation goes, another generation comes up and push on the movement. When they push on, they train the upcoming devotees, and when they go away, then the upcoming devotee takes up the things. But the point is, we have to take this process very seriously and learn every single minute details, especially from today's time, because Srila Prabhupada disciples, every week or every month, we are just listening or reading, on a iskcon news or our official Dandvat there, many Prabhupada disciples are leaving this world. They are just going back to Godhead. Boom, 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 boom. Every day, sometime in a week, 2 to 3 are there. They are just living this world. So because they have directly associated with Prabhupada, they have got the greatest wealth with them. So before they leave this world, taking the wealth in their heart, so let's go and serve them and take out all the wealth, and you live your life and pass on the same wealth to the upcoming generation. For that one, we need to be very, very strong in our practice. Focus has to be there. Okay, that much round, that much reading, that much service, I have to go to work. No mocking around with my office mates or workmates, whatever. Come back here, do my sadhana, go back to sleep, get up early, chant my rounds. And over the period of time, you will see such a tremendous change in your life or in your consciousness. You will be internally happy. There will be nothing left over externally in the world where you can drive happiness from that. If you see many Srila Prabhupada disciples, those who have practiced themselves, those who have controlled their mind, they say, Maharaj, there is a Statue of Liberty. Can I take you there for a round so you can see? What am I going to do? Just bricks, cements, some bricks and everything is there. If you go all part of the world, like we don't have experience, we say, oh yeah, I have come to New York, I have come to London, let me go and see the bridge. What are you going to do with the bridge? Billions of lifetime you have seen different bridges, one more, what's so special? How much pleasure it's going to drive you? Nothing. But when we become advanced in that practice, then we say, yes, Maharaj was right. 30 years back, what he said, now I can understand. Why? Because I am also myself advancing while seeing with that spiritual eyes. Same building, same road, same everything, same woman, same man, same children, everything is there. Without Krishna consciousness, Srila Prabhupada said, they are the flapping dead bodies. just flapping on the road. Without Krishna consciousness, it's nothing. That's why. Okay, I'll stop here and leave something with our question answers, and then yes, Prabhuji.
Well, I guess so. You're saying you're
well, you have to be on the spotlight.
You're saying the Prabhupada disciples, the disciples of Srila Prabhupada, they're great devotees of Krishna, and they don't necessarily have so much time left here on the earth. We should serve them. So I was thinking, like why do you say that? Because maybe this is just like some more humanistic, like material philosophy.
Mm-hmm.
Like why shouldn't we're learning about God, so God is spiritual. So why don't we serve God, and leave it to humans who don't really understand about God. They can be serving each other.
Yeah. So it's one way of seeing it. But the spiritual philosophy, it talks about when the God's instructions are there in the holy books such as Bible and Bhagavad Gita and many others. So we are conditioned. We need something example in front of us, some illustration. Is there anybody who practice this philosophy, has a live example in front of us? So why should I practice? So when we see, this people is practicing for 60 years, what he was and what he is now, that gives us the faith to practice the philosophy. Make sense?
Yes, for real.
Yeah, because By somebody says it's a 5,000 years old instruction. Who is practicing?
What?
Who is practicing? Okay, not even 5,000. How many years old? Billions and trillions of years old, because the first instruction was given to sun god. And how old is he? We can't imagine. Okay, that old practice. Prabhuji, you are talking such an old philosophy. Is there anybody in today's world is practicing this? Yes, he is. Here he is. Srila Prabhupada disciples. They have practice. How many of us we have heard their story? They were, like in a hippie lifestyle. They have kicked out by their parents, by the society. They don't know what to do. When Srila Prabhupada came, right, this place, 22nd Avenue. Okay, what this place was called? Hippie town, yeah? Hippie town was called. It was not a very good place those time. This area.
Homeless people.
Yeah, something like that. They were just, Prabhupada says, like whenever I just come in there, people are just, lying on my door. They are just peeing over there, drinking over there, sleeping over there. I have to just cross them over. But they were very respectful to me. Whenever I come, they see me in a saffron robe as a sadhu, as a monk. They gives me away. And one person came and just put the toilet paper here in this toilet. So those philosophies we see, when we can see, oh, when he was like that, I am also like that now. So when he can change, so I have a hope, because I have a practical life example in front of me. So that gives us a hope. Yeah. Anybody else?
Well, come on. I know some of the people here, they have questions. I'm positive.
I have a question about like when you chant like japa, right? So I heard from one lecture, like if you chant still, if you walking around while chanting, you activate your mind, like
Yeah.
you involve it. Like if you do it still, like if you do it sitting down, like not moving, you activate your intelligence. That's what I heard. Like I don't know if it's.
It has been said in a different context. So let me put you in an easy way, because just to answer that question I have to hear the lecture. But the standard of doing japa, okay, to sit at one place, to sit at one place and do it in a one go, like 16 rounds you have to finish, not like that, 2 now, 2 after, 2 this and 2 that. Okay, that is the highest standard. That is the goal that we have to be, think about how to do our chanting japa. But the people are so restless in their mind. So our procedure is not to sit, okay, not to lie down or not to walk. Our procedure is to listen. If you can listen while walking, do so. If you listen while sitting, do so. If you listen by walking, do so. But whichever way, somehow train your mind. First of all, the mind is not trained. Okay, first try to put something. Okay, mind, I'm going to deal with you in such a way, and I have got this medicine called Hare Krishna Mahamantra, so I want you to drink it. So you are forcing a child which is very, very restless, and a child is very sick but it doesn't want to take a medicine. How difficult it is for the mother to deal with a restless child. Just want to kick the medicine, want to beat the mother, just want to run away, and mother has to run behind the child just to feed the. Why? Because for his good. Because if by any trick, if he takes the medicine, then who will be benefited? The child. In a similar way, the mind has to be somehow trained. Okay, the training has not just started now. The child is such a restless, such a flickering, means you can say a wild horse. Okay, now you have to put a rein into the nose of a wild horse. How it is, I mean, it will kick you, it will beat you. That's how the mind is doing. But still you have to do it. But when it will come into practice for over the period of time, then the mind will say, okay, I'm surrendering slowly. But one day he will surrender, another day, then he will again become, rebellious. I'm not going to listen to you. But still you have to do it. So that's how it comes with the practice. So there is the highest standard, but somehow if something is nothing happening, so somehow let the mantra come out from your mouth. Either you are just chanting in a train, on a tram, on a bus, or walking, taking shower, cooking, cleaning house. Somehow let the mantra come out of your mouth. Okay, because it's a subtle science. It's controlling your mind. Yes, Prabhu.
And I might add that.
Please go ahead.
I might add to demonstrate.
Mhm.
To demonstrate Param Brahma Prabhu's point that the important thing is to listen to the sound, not the position of your body as you're chanting and listening. Srila Prabhupada frequently was pacing back and forth while chanting.
Hmm.
And no devotee of Krishna within iskcon, well, I hope no devotee in iskcon doubts that Srila Prabhupada was the superlative japa and kirtan practitioner.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So the key is to listen, right?
He used to walk back and forth. Yeah.
But the key is to listen, you said, right? Not,
Yeah.
Not where you're sitting.
Yeah.
He probably did everything. I'm just saying.
Oh no, he was a master's master.
Yeah.
No. Sorry, I wasn't clear. I'm saying, Prabhupada, he chanted. He is known. The devotees who study, his life a little bit, they know that Prabhupada was famous for walking and chanting while walking. He also chanted while sitting.
Yeah, there is another pastime also in that context. One time Srila Prabhupada was just lying on a couch. Okay, just lying on a couch and took his chanting back. He was just chanting. And then people thought, oh wow, what a nice way to chant. Prabhupada is lying and doing chanting. And then Prabhupada says, because I have controlled my mind, so I can chant like that, but you cannot. You have to sit properly. How many have you heard Prabhupada tape when he chant Hare Krishna? Sit properly. He said or not? So many times. If you just hear that tape, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, sit properly. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. So that means he is telling his students, when you become perfect, then while you are walking, then you can, because your mind is already in your grip. So you can play around like anything. But as a beginner practitioner, you need to strictly follow. Like, give you an example of a driving car. If you are learning a car, how much strictness is there? Be in the line, hold the steering like this, look straight, don't look here and there. But when you become for 20 years a driver, you talk like this, hey, how's it going? Hey, yes, still because you have a control on your steering. Because you are already perfected, you become mastered in your driving. Otherwise, you will hit somebody, you will kill somebody, you will kill yourself. But until you don't become a master, follow the rules and regulations very strictly.
When I go sometimes to Bhakti Center, I go to the kirtan. So this one lady, Pramanjali, probably knows. She says 3 P's. She says posture, pronunciation, and prayer. But there is this teaching, like you said, that the listening is very important, right? Like listening to the mantra as you're chanting. There's like in the Vaishnava teachings, like etiquette or something, like what's more important, like 9 different ways.
Yeah.
Like one is the listening, like you said.
Listening is the first process. Hearing,
that's what.
Yeah, hearing is the first process, because our devotional service or our spiritual practice starts from hearing. Because until unless you don't sufficiently hear, how can you put into practice? I mean, if you never come and heard a lecture, and you are just walking on a street, and I stop you, hey, please chant Hare Krishna. Well, why? And who are you? And why are you telling me? Where do you come from? Go away. But when you come here for 1 time, 2 time, 3 time, 4 time, 5 time, then you feel, okay, I would like to chant because I'm listening a lot about this mantra, so let me try in my life. So without the listening, nothing will start and nothing will carry on forever. So,
and I guess also that's, if I may say, this is probably the nature of the mind, right? The mind gets absorbed like this, right? Like by listening, by hearing. It's probably gets absorbed.
When you hear more about spiritual knowledge, then you're definitely keen to practice it. But if you hear more about the sense enjoyment knowledge, then you will practice that thing. If we are practicing any kind of sense enjoyment activity, so that means we have heard a lot about that through our friends, through some social media, through some I've seen our parents doing it, our brothers, sisters, society doing it, government encouraging us to do it, and we heard a lot. That's why we practice. But we never heard a lot about spiritual life. That's why we don't practice. And there's nobody to tell us. Srila Prabhupada when he came to New York, he went to Massachusetts University. What was his famous question? What did he say to that university? MIT. Oh, that was MIT.
No, I'm not sure. I wasn't sure if that's what.
Okay, he just went to one famous university.
Probably.
and he put a question: is there any department here who teaches you about the soul?
Right.
Is there any department? Because there's no department here. That's why we are unaware. That's why we are unaware of the spiritual knowledge. So when he came here, he created a revolution right from this place. Right from this place, he just created a revolution like anything, and he just changed the whole world. Okay, any other question? So, Prabhuji, what should we do?
I think Mark.
Well, I don't know what to ask.
Just relax and say what you're thinking. You'll be fine.
You can share your reflection. It's not just you need to always
Well,
ask question.
You were speaking earlier about Ashtanga yoga and all of that, and it got me thinking on how diluted yoga has gotten in terms of, how particularly in the West, they have just, I think, taken out the spiritual aspect of yoga
Yeah.
and its meaning, and instead it's just a bunch of postures.
Yeah.
And breathing in and breathing out, and it may make you feel good physically, but taking Krishna out,
Yeah.
it's just like an empty. You might as well just do aerobic exercise.
Yeah. Gymnastic.
So yeah.
Put your body in shape.
Yeah, and I was watching a documentary on Srila Prabhupada yesterday on YouTube,
Mm-hmm.
and he talked basically about a revolution
Mhm.
that he wanted to create.
Yeah.
There was a lot of unrest here, the counterculture here,
Yeah.
the war in Vietnam, communism spreading in Vietnam and what have you. And I remember him saying, I want to create a revolution, but or spiritual revolution of Krishna consciousness.
Yeah.
And he spoke about how he came here with nothing.
Yeah.
And at one point he wanted to go back to India. He was so discouraged, so he would go to Port Authority and
Yeah.
ask, well, when is the next ship leaving for India?
Yeah.
And then like 3 days later or so, the agent said, well, sir, you have been asking the same question for
Yeah.
the last few days, but you don't leave.
Yeah.
So, you end up not leaving. So
Yeah.
I think it kind of gave him a sense of, okay, so the Lord wants me here.
Yeah.
And he just continued. And in the last few days, I have been thinking about the Lord and about Master, and all I feel is gratitude.
Yeah.
And like the words thank you for me
Yeah.
will never be enough for Master, because if it weren't for him, I wouldn't have heard the name of Krishna.
Yeah.
Even in joking, I would have never heard the name of Krishna, let alone read the Bhagavad Gita
Yeah.
and just be absolutely curious and just wanting to see Krishna, wanting to go home again.
Yeah. In iskcon Vrindavan, I'm pretty much sure you all have heard the name Vrindavan, where Lord's place is. We do have a temple there, very beautiful temple, and they have a big hoarding, and it has a picture of Srila Prabhupada, and it has written a very beautiful statement which touches my heart. Srila Prabhupada, this world will be ever grateful to you. Always, always it will be grateful to you. It cannot pay your debt. Even though when he left, still his followers are still, carrying on his mission. You can see that with the same potency, same power, because he didn't come here to cheat us. He came here to take us back to Godhead. I mean, practically a 70 years old man, what can he cheat you? What does he have? I mean, he has lived his life like a king. He was a very wealthy, a rich man, okay, from an aristocratic family. He had everything, so wealthy, but he just kicked out everything for one goal. Let me give this Krishna to others, so let me finish their life. Do you know that, like, I was just coming to this program and I was going to one room, and this one Indian couple came to me. They said, "Oh, Prabhuji, Panditji, do you see hands? Do you know about, like, palm reading?
Yeah.
Palm reading. Do you do this palm reading?" I said, "Sorry, I'm not that kind of a person." "No, you do, because you are wearing saffron." I said, "But does it mean, I just read it?" So one time Srila Prabhupada, somebody came to Srila Prabhupada. He says, "Okay, Srila Prabhupada, I'm a magician. I can disappear the watch." And Prabhupada says, "Okay, show me." Then he did that. Prabhupada says, "Very fantastic." Prabhupada says, "I'm a greatest magician than you." Prabhupada said, "I can disappear birth, old age, death and disease. Can you do that?" So Srila Prabhupada ki.
Yeah.